Well, hello everyone. Beautiful Tuesday. So I believe that I got Twitch going, and we're gonna get into this pretty fast. Doing tongs in an hour and a half. It's a push, even with my press. So, especially seeing today, I'm going to be using high carbon steel. This is spring steel from coil spring from an F-150. Actually, it used to be my old truck. Truck is no longer with me, but I did replace its front end, all the suspension in the front end, and had the paint cleared off. Okay, we're back up, I guess. Oh, no, I'm losing. I'm not sure why this is doing this. But anyways, we will. Okay. Maybe I need to restart my routers before doing these streams. Never had a problem with this last week. I don't know if the winter melt is causing it or not. So hopefully I don't drop too many frames and stuff like that. It looks like it's stabling up. So yeah, that's okay. We're waiting for the steel to heat up. Again, this is 3/4 round, roughly. It's more 20 millimeter round. So, yeah. You could use mild, like I said, you can use mild steel for these guys. Sorry, just apparently my anvil is starting to move. I'll have to adjust that someday. So for these guys, I'm going to be using my V-bit tongs, my big V-bit tongs. These pieces are a little bit too small to handle by hand. So these guys I made a couple of years ago. I have a video on them. They need to be re-riveted. The rivet's not the best on it. So they're a little bit loose now, but they'll work for what I'm doing today. So how's everyone doing today? You're doing good? I'm gonna turn the forge up a little bit. I am working with spring steel, so the more heat you can put into it, the better. Spring steel does not like to move when it's at colder temperatures, so we'll make sure that we get that nice and hot before we start. And so, like I said, I'm making pickup tongs, and for the rivet, I'm going to be using the 5/16 rivet, which I cut already to roughly 2 inches, maybe 2 1/4. Kind of just eyeballed it. And I'm going to be using my 3-pound hammer today. Try and move as much material as possible. One thing on my anvil already, I've put a 2-inch chalk mark from the edge of the anvil. That's going to be key for my first set down, which is going to be the bit or the nibs. So how I'm making these is the start of them all the way until I actually do the nib is going to be very close to what you do with almost every tong blank. So even though I'm making pickup tongs with these guys, this is basically the fundamentals for making almost every tong out there. Not every tong, but almost every tong. So, yeah. I am running low on the bottles that I have currently hooked up to the propane. I mean, to the forge. So you'll probably see me switch them a little bit sooner than I want, but hopefully we can get at least one heat on both tongs, or both sides of the tongs, before I have to switch over. But I got the propane ready. I got the other tanks ready. So it's just a simple unhook one tank and hook it up. And I got 30-pound tanks coming in this time. My supplier that's local finally got some in, so I was able to pick that up today, so that was nice. I got an order of steel coming in tomorrow, so very happy with that too. So on the first one, I'm going to line up to my 2-inch mark, and I'm going to come down right on the edge of the anvil. And this is the near side of the anvil, and I'm bringing this down to about half the thickness of the material. I'm actually probably going to aim for about 1/2 inch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this in on the side to the thickness that we are right now. So that's going to be 3/4 of an inch. And again, I'm using spring steel, so movement of it is not as quick as, say, with mild steel. I'm just going to change my propane right now because we're getting a little low. And I want as much heat as possible with these guys, so bear with me for a couple seconds. Okay, that'll do for a little bit. So I'll just let that get up the temp again. I am running at 15 PSI right now, just for this first little bit. Now for the reins, again, I'm going to be drawing them out with the press. That's just a time thing. Making these tongs in the time that I can be out here is a little bit tight time-wise, so. again, we're just gonna keep on working that front nib. And this will stretch out the nib a little bit, and that's okay. That's what we want. And yeah, and we're just bringing those sides down again to the parent material. Again, we're going to set that shoulder. A little quiet on chat today. Let's see how the systems are working. Well, this is fun. I wonder if my phone would tell me better. Just checking to see, make sure I'm actually on. Everything on my side, software-wise, looks okay, but you know, we'll see how, what does the magical YouTube say? Well, I'm just gonna go for it. I don't know if I'm up or not. So, yeah, fun times. just gonna take some time. I got some thick spots in here, so I'm just gonna take some time and clean that up a little bit. And that's pretty well where I want that one to be. This one still needs quite a bit of work on it, so again, I'm just trying to make it consistent all the way across. Yep. And we're going to get ready to do our hinge plate or the boss. Okay, we're going on the far side of the angle, 45 degrees. I'm trying to find a nice spot on my anvil. Taking a little bit of time to straighten up the rest of it. We're going to work that down to roughly half an inch, 3/8 half inch. I'm just checking, make sure I got my hinge plate all lined up nicely. I'm going to go back, straighten up a lot. Like I said, we're working that hinge plate down to about half the thickness. Taking a little bit of a breather. Whew. Woo-hoo. Working that spring steel. Already got it at 20 degrees Celsius in here. Okay, we're going back onto the hinge plate. And I'm actually working a little bit behind the hinge plate as well. straightening up stuff as I go. Almost getting there. I think I'm going to take another heat with that. I'm going to straighten up as much as I can while I'm waiting. We'll do the same with this guy. Work behind the hinge plate a little bit. Spend some time straightening up everything. And our next heat, we're going to set for our reins. And again, we're going to do that on the far side of the anvil. Not bad time-wise. I think I'm 25 minutes in. Okay, so left, and then left again. I'm leaving about an inch for my hinge plate. I'm doing half on, half off. Back and flattening out any upset steel that I brought into the sides. I'm going to take some time to straighten up everything right now at the slightly cooler temperature. Do same on this guy, left, left, and then we're going to take an inch or thereabouts, half on, half off. Come back, flatten out what we just upset. Again, we're going to bring this down to about half the thickness. Straighten up everything. We're starting to get more tong-like. Cleaning my anvil in between heats. Spring steel likes to shed a lot of scale. So I'm almost at the point where I'm going to go to the press and draw that out. I'm going to flip that around. this one's pretty well where I want it as well. So I'm just gonna go around, straighten up everything, flip her around. We're gonna draw out those reins with the press. So we'll get you set up over at the press a little bit. Oh, I keep on forgetting I weighted this, so you don't get the little impacts from me hitting the anvil. And every time I pick it up, I'm like, oh! Fortunate thing is, now that I have weight on these legs, I kind of want to fall down a little bit. I'll take the weight off for now. So the first dies I'm going to be using on the press are these guys, which is 1.5 inch round. These are just mild steel. I'm going to be using these to draw out as much as I can. And then after I draw out quite a bit, I'm going to be switching over to my flattened dies. And hopefully this is a little bit faster process than last Tuesday, when I was drawing out the tongs then. Now the challenge with these dies is making sure I don't go too far. Which is really easy. And I'm trying to keep everything straight. As best as I can. I'm just going back, trying to squeeze a little bit of those higher spots down a little bit. Make it a little bit easier for my flat dies to work. And also, this will help stop it from kinking on itself or getting cold shuts. Again, I'm trying to not go too far down. I'm also trying to keep everything straight as possible with the press. That's so I don't get any rhombus going on. My press does have a little bit more slop in it than I would like. So drawn out tongs, definitely a power hammer is a lot better for this. Just because the dies will suck heat away from your metal. So that it does cool down a lot quicker than if I was using, say, a power hammer. And the contacts of the dies. So with a power hammer, you don't have that as much. So That's the flat dies in. I'm sorry, the angle is not going to be great. It's hard to get that camera in a good place where it's not in my way. I'm making sure I don't mess up any steps downs that I've already done. I am getting a little rhombus again, so I'm just trying to correct that before I go too far, because it's easier to correct it when it's only a slight rhombus than when it's a major one. I'm going to straighten up everything as best as I can. I'm going to come down on the corners, clean them up a little bit. Okay, now I'll take it down the corners. Fixing the rhombus I got, or trying to. that's the press. Stuff done. So we'll get your switch back to the anvil. I'm going to use my hot cut Hardy to cut these to the length I want. And hopefully I get them close to each other. That looks good. I know YouTube is working. I got 2 people came and went. So, how's Twitch looking? Oof, the bit rates are just all over the place. That's okay. We'll muddle through somehow. So, hot cut Hardy. And where are we at time-wise? Oh, we're doing pretty good. I'll save this piece that I'm cutting off for another project sometime down the road, even if it is just throwing it in a Damascus container. If it wants to break off. I'm not a fan of going all the way through with your hot cut. So, come on. There we go. Beautiful. So on the next heat, I am going to continue working this handle down a little bit, make it a little bit cleaner. Just double checking my length here so I can get both of them close to the same size. Just tuck that guy down there. We'll get the hot cut out of the way. Hot cut is due for a little bit of a cleanup. My tongs jammed together. Actually, does my box tongs fit in this? Well, they do. Let's use the box tongs from last week. So with these, I'm just tapering now the handle a little bit. And coming back, cleaning it up a little bit. I still have a little bit of thickness that I don't need in it. Square off the lovely corners. Now I still do have a little bit of a burr on the back end. That'll be easily cleaned with a grinder afterwards. So right now I'm just straightening up everything. I'm going to flip this around, hopefully. And I'm going to continue working on the head a little bit, or the nibs and all that lovely stuff. I want to do a little bit more cleanup with the nibs. Flip that around. And now I get to the point of which tongs would be best. Okay. I'm going to switch over to my V-bit tongs for 3/8. Gonna clean my anvil. So right at this point in time, right at this point in time, the tongs are what I would consider tong blanks. So they're pretty well ready to be shaped into whatever, almost whatever tongs you want. So I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup. Trying to stretch these nibs out to 4 inches, which just happens to be the width of my anvil. Then I'm just coming in, cleaning up the rest of them, the reins, making sure everything is pretty consistent. Yep. We're going to match that with the other one. Tongs might not be, the V-bit tongs might not be the best ones with this. So I'm going to put this first guy aside right now. Actually, no, I'm gonna punch this hole. So these nibs I'm still stretching out a little bit. We're almost there. Still got a little bit of thickness in the back end here. We're going to take another heat and do that again. And then on the first one, I'm going to be getting ready to do my hole punch. I'm going to basically line it up to roughly center. I'm going to double check my hole. First couple of strikes, I'm not really beating it too hard. I'm trying to get that hole started nicely. Going to get another heat on that, quench my punch. Hopefully this time we can finish the stretching out the nibs for the second set. We're almost there. That's pretty well where I want it. So I'm going to take another, actually I'm going to do it right now. I'm coming down on the anvil like this. And I'm just hitting the top of that hinge plate. And what that does is it kicks everything out ever so slightly. So it's actually easier for your tongs afterwards to wind them. So I'm going to set that guy aside, and we're going to finish the hole on the first one. Come on this side, you want to make sure that you put the nib over top of the edge of the anvil so you don't crush it in any way. So there's that hole. Got a little bit of a burr, or the plug wasn't clean. Where's the pliers? Oh. So I'm just going to pull that off, pair of needle nose. I'm here, I want to double check, make sure that hole is big enough for my 5/16. I did cut a piece of 5/16 for this. Is that it? No. Where did I put it? Huh. Okay, well, just grab a random 5/16 then. Okay, I gotta stretch that hole ever so slightly. So I'll get this heated up again and see if I can find my piece for my rivet. Oh, there it is. Must have fell off. Yeah. I think this is the nut I want. Yep. No. This is not. So what I'm looking for is I pulled out a nut, you know, that goes on a bolt, and it was 15 millimeters, because that's what I want. I'm sure I put it aside somewhere, but it has, oh, is this it? Yeah, 15 millimeter. So I'm going to put these guys over on the vise, so if I misplace them again, that's where they are. Tell me. Hopefully I don't misplace them again. Okay. Just checking the time. Oh, and YouTube is complaining with the I don't know what to do with these frame drops. Like I said, last week, no problems whatsoever. This week, it seems to be a little weird. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with, we've been warmer here and we got a lot of snow this winter. So I don't know if that has something to play on it, where water has got into the system and made it a little slower, or not as reliable, or if it has something to do with my setup. It's not optimum for streaming, but it was doing it. So that should be big enough now. The rivet. Oh yeah. And I want to leave a little bit more space than I need for the rivet, because I know I'm going to have, the rivet is going to get bigger as I heat it, so. And now I'm looking at this, I have a little bit of extra material in the head here, so I'm going to give that a heat. Pop that up. And then I'm going to test fit them as best as I can. Unfortunately, with these being carbon steel, I'm not able to quench them like I would with mild steel. So I kind of have to let these air cool enough that I could move them around. Oh, that looks better. Okay, will you just stay? Stay. Okay. Now, in a perfect world, I would let these cool down so I can do this next step while they're cold. Because what I want to do is line them up the best I can, which is easier said than done when they're hot like this. This one's going in the fire, and this one's just gonna sit down. So the one I'm putting in the fire doesn't have the hole yet. We'll get that warmed up and punch that hole. Yeah. Oh, I just sat on my phone. Oh, yeah, there we go. So, oh, chat's quiet today. What's going on, chat? That's okay. That's why I share this afterwards. Some people can't make it for this time, which is understandable. It is not the most opportune time for North America. Woo! How did my mark go? Okay, that's a good start. We'll get a good heat on that. So we'll go back into the mark I made. Yep, heat that up again. Quench my tip on my punch. Punch is going a little bit sideways, so just straighten that up a little bit. just gonna find a 5/16 bolt. So, because this time I'm actually gonna do it that way. So everyone talk amongst themselves. I believe this is 5/16. It'll be close enough anyways. I think so. It might be 3/8. We'll see. Oh, YouTube's not happy again. Oh, come on. My frame rate is fine. My bit rate's fine. Anyways, so this time around, I am going to try it with a bolt in the hole before riveting. On the last pair, I did not do that. And it worked out fine, but it is a good way to see how everything is lining up. Just double check in to make sure I'm punching close. It's not right on where I need to be. Then I'm moving over to my pincher hole. And that should get it, yep. Going to take an eye heat and drift that out. Well, we got 30 degrees. It's hot in here. Whoop. Okay, we're just going to drift this out just enough so I can get the 5/16 rivet in. It's not going to need a lot. That should be okay. Yep. So, I'm now going to take my bolt. Oh, my bolt is a 3/8. Okay. Give me a sec. I'll find the 5/16 bolt. this would be so much easier if they weren't hot. So yeah, my reins are a little bit, I'm gonna grab a second glove here. I'm just gonna go with my grinder, and I'm just gonna grind that hinge plate ever so slightly down. I don't want to go too far with this. I'm going to do the same with the other side. So right now, I'm having problems lining it up because this rain is kicking in a little bit. So I'm going to heat that up and move that rain just a little bit more out. It'll make it easier for me with riveting these. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to put my rivet in. And I'm just basically putting the tip of the rivet in, because I only really want to heat up the one side. Now, this being a propane forge, that sometimes is a little easier than other times to isolate my heat. That should be good enough now for me to do my rivet. And the hammer I'm going to be using to set the rivet this time is my little ball peen hammer. This one I made on a video 6 months ago, maybe 7 now. I'm also going to put a nut on my anvil. If you missed that, the nut is is 15 millimeters, which I'm hoping is the right size for that I need to set the rivet right. And I'm going to use the ball peen side of this to start upsetting. I actually made that rivet way too long, so I'm going to quickly cut a new rivet. So that was 50 millimeters, so I'm going to go 40 millimeters this time. And actually, this is kind of a blessing because I forgot I have to do the nibs. So these nibs actually are not set up for pickup tongs yet. So let's get that going. So I'm just heating up the nib. So yeah, I guess that worked out pretty good. No, I don't want this glove. So as you can tell, I'm not a big fan of glove on the hammer hand. I find that it causes me to do a death grip on the hammer. And that just leaves blisters, and yeah, not really a big fan of them. Tong hand, I'm not as critical about it. Sometimes you just have to wear a glove. Doing pretty good, time-wise. Yeah, changing up the dies on the press made a huge difference this time around. Last time I just used the flat dies, and it took a lot more heats than I was expecting. Hence why I changed it up to doing the fuller dies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and I'm going to first set 90 degrees. And I probably should check where I'm doing that. And then I'm slowly working it around the horn of the anvil. That's where I'm going with it. And what I'm basically doing is this tip here, I'm trying to align it down the rest of the tongs. And that is something that we can adjust a little bit once they get all put together. So I'm just going to leave that out because I want to have that there so I can make sure this one is close to that as possible. Yep, that looks good. And we can adjust that a little bit more when we get the whole thing put together. Just doing a little bit of cleanup there. So now we're ready for the rivet. So get ready for the rivet. Putting away the 3-pounder. Pulling out my ball peen. I'm actually going to turn down the forge a little bit because the most of the heavy forging is done. And with the small adjustments I need to do after the rivet's set, I can do it at a lower temperature, no problem. And definitely when you're doing rivets, having as much set up as possible beforehand is better. So I'm going to get a good heat on that so I can finish off that rivet. Tongs have flipped up a little bit. So I'll have to, when I get a good heat on that, I'll have to make sure I get the 2 hinge plates straight down on top of each other before I start working that rivet. How's the two streams doing? Let me pop back and forth to check. Well, Twitch doesn't seem too bad. YouTube, oh, I can't tell. YouTube is just, yeah. Normally I can see, I can pop over to YouTube and I can see how it looks. There is quite a delay for me. Today it's just not having it. Again, I'm just getting these hinge plates back down to each other. They decided to not like each other for some reason. Okay, we're close there. So right now, I'm just trying to make the rivets look a little better. Okay. So now I got a little bit of lining up to do, as you might see. A little bit of lining up to do. They're not perfectly aligned yet. The first thing I'm going to do is I got to kick those reins out a little bit. A little overkill. Yeah, I would just use a hammer. So right now I'm just playing around with the tongs overall, just to make them a little bit more useful. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for a piece of steel, prefer a flat bar, that I could put in the tongs to roughly the size I want them to close on. What I plan on doing is in my vise, I'm going to crimp them in. So I'm using a 3/8 bar, flat bar, to put in the tongs, the nibs of the tongs, so I can pull these reins out a little bit. I got a little bit kinked out. This is the fun part, lining up the tongs. We're getting there. We're close. We're close. Yeah. Might put my touch mark on these guys. One thing I normally don't do with my tools is actually put my touch mark on it. Not sure why. I should. So, sorry, I forgot a belt today, so I'm sorry. Oh, those propane tanks are frosty. Oh, and just in case you're wondering, this is a 3/8 bar. We're almost there. Almost there. I think that looks good. Yeah. So I'll just do a heat for my touch mark, and we'll call it done. Probably should have done my touch mark before riveting it, but well, I can do better. So of course, yeah, wire wheel, all that fun stuff afterwards. I'll probably clean up the bottom of the reins with a grinder just to get any burrs off. But pretty well how, sorry, it keeps on showing up. It's disconnected, reconnected. I really have to start resetting my router before coming out here. Okay, let's get this touch mark done. That's much better. Much better. Much better. There you go, that's my pickup tongs. Unfortunately, they're hot, so I don't want to pick up too much with it because I don't want to bend them out. But hey. Here we go. Oh, I see a small problem with it. And I'm gonna have to fix it. That might have happened when I picked up the hammer. There you go. Pick up dogs. Well, that's it for the show today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for coming out. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, so surprise. Where am I?